Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to European Truck Simulator 2, and welcome to Stuttgart. This is our parallel profile that I built to test out the 1.37 patch when it's released, not really running any mods to speak of. However, with 1.37 sort of on indefinite who knows when, with all the events in the world, I was very surprised to see a DLC drop this week, and it is the HS Schoch. Did I say that right? Odds that I pronounced that correctly are 0. It's an accessory pack. It's primarily light bars. So right now we're running the top bar is from the DLC. The grill guard is from the DLC. The valance guard on the bottom is from the DLC. And then these trim strips over here under the fuel tanks are from the DLC. We've got our own lights. Let's see if I can get these on. We've got our own lights on them down here. So on the trim strip on the side, those are our little LEDs, but like up on top, on the top bar, those are the LEDs that come on the bar from the DLC. You can't swap them out. Fortunately, I had some in there that we were able to make everything kind of match up, look okay. So that's what's going on there. And we are driving this Mercedes. I don't know why. And we've got a matching Corona trailer. It's just what I decided to go with for this profile. So we're going to pick up now. It's right around the corner. We're going to pick up and we'll just, I don't know. We're just going to wing it, man. It's been an interesting week for everybody. For you, I'm sure for me, what a week, what a world. So, you know what, we're just gonna hop into video game world here and take a little break from reality. Step away from all the bad news just for a minute. So what is going on? 1.37, yeah, like I said, sort of on hold indefinitely, and I'm totally cool with that. You know, we've all got bigger fish to fry this week, so I'm not gonna sweat that at all. Haven't heard anything about it. When it's done, it'll be done. And Iberia and Idaho, same deal. That's our truck sim news. Got one of the new DLCs for Train Sim World. Got that fired up, and it is awesome. It's a little switching loco. And then we'll have another one in just a couple of days. That's going to be a bigger DLC, big German route. Looking forward to that. Very unexpected. I saw the new Isle of Man TT by KT and Big Ben. Get down here to neutral. Set the brake. And let's pick up our job. Where are we at here? What are we hauling? We're hauling Atlantic cod fillet to Frankfurt. Of course we are. So we'll get that going. And it is, let's go third person here. Yeah. Did I turn my lights off or were they ever on? They were never on. Okay. So those are on. And brake is off. Put it back in gear and let's get flipped around here. So yeah, I had lost track of that. I knew they were making a sequel or a more up-to-date version of that game, I guess. I don't know. I knew that, but I had completely forgotten about it. I think because I was really kind of disappointed with the first one. Great concept and something that I really wanted to be good. I just never quite got into it. You know, the first one, that is. So I think maybe for that reason I wasn't entirely tuned in to the sequel. And then all of a sudden, there it was, and it's a great sim. It really is. I'm enjoying it. I've got probably 3 or 4 hours into it so far, and it's a really, really good sim. Looks like something that has got some legs on it, at least for me. Steep learning curve, because those tracks are very long and very diabolical. Tracks, that's not the right word for them. They're public roads courses, so circuits, whatever you want to call them, they are nasty. And it's going to take a lot of practice to get fast on those. So that dropped. This little DLC, also kind of a surprise. Was not expecting it at all. All right, lights off, brake is set, engine off. Let's load up here, and hopefully, sun will be coming up after we get loaded up. I wanted you to see those trim strips in the dark, so you can see the lights on them, but we don't necessarily have to drive in the dark. All right, engine on, lights on. Brake is off. Hop in here, put her in gear. Here we go. And I'm trying to think what else is going on. Yeah, I mean, that was a lot for me. I wasn't really expecting probably half of those. The only thing I was expecting were the Train Sim DLCs, but everything else, Isle of Man, this accessories DLC, and what was the third one? I forgot already. I forgot it before it happened, and now it seems like I've forgotten it after it happened. But, oh well. And we'll go right through here. Got a green light, beautiful. This truck, I told you I wanted to have a parallel profile going, and I don't think we've ever driven a Mercedes. We drove that little Mercedes Antos mod truck for a while, a couple patches back, but I don't think have ever driven the new Actros. I do like this truck. We're not running any mods in it other than a sound pack, and that's deliberate. So when 1.37 does drop, we can disable that sound pack if we have to and have no impact on our profile. But I saw that there is a tuning pack for this truck, and I got that when I was building the profile. And as I did that, I realized there are only 3 tuning packs. Well, now there's 4 with this light bar pack. But, I mean, there's some wheel kits, and I want to say, yeah, the Goodyear, the Michelin. I think there may be a couple others. But as far as truck tuning packs, there is the Mighty Griffin for Scania. There's the Eindhoven pack for DAF, and there's this Actros pack for the Mercedes. And I think that's it. And it really got me thinking, and then more so when I downloaded this DLC with the light bars, it really got me thinking that SCS has, I like SCS. I think they're a cool company. I like them. I got nothing but good things to say about them. But when it comes to accessories for the trucks, and even more so on the ATS side than the ETS side, I feel like they don't have a lot really as far as good stuff, good tuning parts for the trucks. There's some stuff, but not as much as you would think. And when you think about the complexity of scanning a truck and getting all the sounds and right, all the specs, the physics, all that stuff. Oh no, we're diverted. We are diverted. Okay. It would seem like in comparison, scanning a light, right, a driving lamp, or scanning whatever, a rim, right, or anything, any sort of small static part, it seems like that would be a lot easier. And I would think that a lot of parts manufacturers would be more than happy to get involved in some kind of a licensing deal to have real parts in the sim. I don't know why a company would not, in the same way that there's so many tractor and implement companies that want to get involved with farm sim. Now, I've had people say in threads, and actually get really fired up about it, oh, you have no idea how licensing works. The company, the developer, pays to license that part or that vehicle or that whatever into their game. Well, it can work that way. Definitely it can work that way, but it can work just the opposite way too. Something that I can tell you about business is business happens however both parties want it to happen. So yeah, I'm sure there are some companies that are being incentivized by software developers, game developers, so that licensed products can be put into a game. But I think there are probably an equal number of small companies that are willing to pay a developer to put a product into a game for them for a fee, right? Product placement. So for a big company like Scania or Volvo or whoever, yeah, I think they get approached by enough companies that want their name and want their reputation within a video game. But I think there are plenty of other smaller companies that are really looking to maximize their visibility and brand that would love to be in a game like this. So I'm curious why there aren't more DLC, either paid or free, with parts and accessories. And it's yeah, on the ATS side, really it seems kind of slim, but there are so many. I mean, just looking up in a parts catalog for anything, for cars, for 4x4s, motorcycles, you can find anything, man. Pages and pages and pages of whatever, little itty bitty parts, right? And people just make them. Anybody who's got a garage and a CNC deck is making little aluminum boutique, you know what I mean? Little chi-chis for your motorbike. So that's what we do. That's what we do with vehicles. We customize them and we tune them and tweak them and make them just the way we want them to be. So I'd like to see more of that from the developer, because mods, I mean, some mods are great, solid, well-made, reliable. You know, others are a little bit dicey. Even on the Steam store, you can get some shadiness going on. So anyway, that's one of the things that struck me, that there's only, after all these years, there's only 3 vehicle tuning packs. Whoa, missed my turn. Oh, we saved it. Okay. So we can turn those off. We can turn that off. So, yep. And I'm trying to think what else. Nothing. Nothing. It's been one of those busy, not busy weeks. There have been a ton of drops and several unexpected. I saw a release date for MotoGP 20. It's going to be at the end of April. Looking forward to that. I really do like that game sim. When I was playing TT Isle of Man 2, it struck me how Milestone has really sort of found the feelism balance for controlling a motorcycle. I think if you make it too accurate or try to make it too accurate, it's impossible. It's just there's too much balance controlling a motorcycle in the real world to not. You got to simplify it if you're going to be doing it on gamepad. I suppose you could do it with a wheel, control a motorcycle with a wheel, but that would be really, really weird. Accurate, no doubt, but also, a bit odd. So there need to be some compromises, and I think Milestone has found the best balance of compromise. And oh dear, that is somebody's having a bad morning. All right, good luck to you. And so the MotoGP franchise, I don't know if you want to call that a game or a sim. Sometimes it seems like one, sometimes it seems like the other, but I know it's a blast. I really do like that. I've been playing it since, I don't know, 2 years now, 3 years. So looking forward to that. It's a bit, unless there's some kind of a big change in it from year to year, I do feel a little, I don't know. I wouldn't quite say cheated, but whatever it'll be, $40, $50. And sometimes it just feels like new pajamas for the riders. They switch things around to new teams. And like going from 18 to 19 in Moto 2, they switched over to the Triumph motor. So that was kind of a big thing to put into the game. But I also think that just goes with keeping your franchise fresh. When things change in the real world, in the real series, you need to reflect that. But it could be reflected in a DLC. I mean, it could be reflected in a patch, right? The big spring MotoGP patch, and it brings everything up to date for the new season. Or they could just have the 2020 DLC. So you're still running MotoGP 19 or 18 or whatever, and then the DLC brings in all the driver trades and driver transitions, who came into the class, who retired, whatever, and you're good to go. But I don't know. I mean, it's video games. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. And I'm saying that as much to myself as to anybody else. If you feel like it's not worth your $40 or whatever, just wait till the price comes down. I'll buy it on day one because I'm silly like that. But every now and then, though, they do surprise you, and they do completely, re-up a game, re-up a franchise, and add all kinds of stuff, modernize it, freshen it up. So we'll see. Perhaps that'll be the case this year. And what else is going on? Got the Legends pack for F1 2019. I had put that off originally when the game was released. What was it, last fall? I put that off because, not really. It's 2 cars, and it's, I don't know. They have historical cars, but because there are, it's like there are 1 or 2 cars per era, rather than representing the entire grid from that year. And I guess that makes sense, because if you're going to have 20 different years represented, as they do, and then you have a full grid for every year, you're talking about 200 cars that they would need to scan, and the sound and the physics and everything else, the drivers. That's really big. That's a big ask for a developer. But as it is now, they have a couple of cars per important year of F1, and if you want to race in that era, you're just racing against, it's like all the cars are the same. It's a field of 2 cars or maybe 3 cars. It just feels kind of, I don't know, it never really made sense to me. But I did go ahead and get the Legends pack, and it's all right. It's 2 cars. It was on sale, so I've been playing around with that a little bit. And what else is going on? Looks like that turned off. off, I said. It looks like real F1 drivers are really going to do a real online race this Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening in Europe, Sunday afternoon in the US, and it's because the F1 races have been canceled. I know some NASCAR drivers are doing events on iRacing. That's super cool. And I told you a couple times, we're not going to talk about it. That's not what this channel's about. We're not going to talk about anything going on as far as bad stuff in the real world. This is where we go to get away from that. But it is nice to see that people are we're trying to help each other out. I know there are a lot of people that really look forward to the F1 season, really look forward to the NASCAR season. They're very disappointed. We're all stuck inside. So that is super cool. Hey, that's super cool that they're going to do that. I'm curious how it plays out. I mean, part of me thinks it's just going to be totally pro and it's, everybody's going to be, I don't know, an expert. But I know some people, Verstappen for sure, some people are into it. I know a lot of the drivers use like pro simulator rigs to practice tracks and track familiarity and that sort of thing, but I don't know how many of them have ever done like a race in the F1 2019, 2018, the Codemasters franchise. I don't know how many have. I don't know how many drivers it's going to be a completely new experience to them. And I also saw that they are equalizing the cars so nobody has an advantage, and that is going to be very, very interesting. I'm curious as well whether the drivers that consistently finish at or near the top, whether they're going to make their way back to the top. Either way, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody involved. It's going to be fun for the drivers and fun for the fans. But I'm curious how accurately it's going to replicate the real F1 breakdown. And I know on the iRacing side, it's a different skill set, and you don't typically see real NASCAR drivers winning those races against what could best be described as pro sim drivers. And I think it's because they are slightly different skill sets. Now, occasionally they will take a sim driver and put them in a real race car, either because they show an aptitude for it, or somebody's doing a development program, or as a prize, right? If you win, X series, you get 10 laps in a whatever, that sort of thing. Sometimes they go on to do impressive things in a real car, and other times it's like, wow, there really is a difference between sim racing and real racing. But that goes both ways. So there are drivers that have been successful in real racing that are not nearly as successful when they hop into a sim rig. Some are, some aren't. So we'll see. It'll be fun to see how iRacing continues to progress with more, more real NASCAR drivers on the service at the moment. They might just be bored out of their minds too. They look forward to this as well. I mean, I know if you do anything for money, eventually it just becomes a job. But I have to think driving a race car, that's got to be a fun way to make a living. Maybe not every weekend. Maybe it gets boring and stale and you hate it, but it seems like a lot of fun. So we'll see. We'll see as the seasons progress through iRacing and as other events in the real world progress and we continue to discover what our new normal is. I don't know. Maybe this is when sim racing esports really makes its break, because we can't, for the moment, we can't gather in large crowds. And I've seen ball sport players say, we're not going to do this in front of an empty arena. Well, that was before the seasons were canceled completely, but I saw some players say, no, man, I need the crowd. I can't do this without people cheering me on. And fortunately that they didn't have to make that distinction, because then the seasons were canceled altogether. But I get that, and I think it's too easy to say, oh, hey, you're getting paid millions of dollars, you'll do as I say. I don't think it necessarily works that way. There's definitely some validity to the idea that this is an entertainment product, and people wrestle alligators, but rarely without an audience. I'm not going to go out and do what I do for people if there aren't any people to do it for. But that debate got overtaken by events when the seasons were canceled. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. And we're getting into getting into town anyway. But I'll keep cranking these out for you. I know we're all just trying to figure it out. So in the meantime, we'll keep each other company and do what we can. Try to pass the time a little more pleasantly.
And then exit.
A little bit less frustrated. Right over here.
Exit. Right.
And down here, lift axle up. There we go.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
You got it. Right through here.
Exit now.
Done. All right. Where we at on time? 21 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. We lost some time coming through the mountains, but that's always... I wouldn't say it's slow. It just, it is what it is. There's no way to get through those switchbacks at 80 kilometers an hour. And I think, you know what? We may be late. We may be. But if we are, so be it. There we go. All right, and where are we dropping off? It looks like we're dropping off at the Iveco dealer. That can't be right. We got to be going around the back somewhere. Where are we going?
Left, and then turn left.
Oh, okay. Other side of the road. All right. I was a little bit confused for a minute. Just a bit.
Turn left.
All right. There we are. And now where?
Get ready to turn left.
All right.
Turn left. You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
And I think, can we just flip this right around here? Yes, we can. Fantastic. So, right, whoa, a little too far. But I think we can get it. Maybe, maybe. Turn it, sir, turn it. There we go. There we go. Yes. Might have to straighten it out. Maybe not. No, we're in there. I'm going to call that good. Right. Back to neutral. Set the brake. Lights are already off. Engine off. Let's see how we did. Oh, we are late. Ugh. All right. Not bad. How late were we? 6 minutes. Okay. I'll take it. Weren't that late at all. There you have it. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. We'll see you next time. Take care now.